flexes to the crowd. Tatum weaving his way to basket. Tatum.
Tatum physical for the punch.
Switch on to Toppin. Tatum peeks the shot clock. And buries another.
Tatum. Tatum pulls up. Knocks down a three. Tatum coming up here. Tatum on fire to the basket. And a foul. Tatum takes his time, knocks it down.
Oh, kiss to him. There you go. See ya.
A lot of kisses in those highlights right there. Time now for Bringing the Heat, brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil there in your neighborhood. Jayson Tatum is an elite company when it comes to the stat that matters the most, and that's winning, guys. The Celtics All-NBA forward is fourth all-time in wins before turning the age of 26, trailing only Kobe Bryant, Tony Parker, and LeBron James. That leads us right into Forsberg's form. Forsberg in honor of Jayson Tatum turning, 18, 19, I guess, on a Sunday.
19.
Perpetually 19. That year, Forsberg's 4 is all dedicated to Jayson Tatum. Where do we start?
Yeah, so what we did was we were thinking about it. We got nostalgic about how young he was and being perpetually 19. So we went back to his rookie season, and I was looking at some highlights. And I forgot how much fun it was that he didn't even have the beard that connected. He still had that baby face. It's amazing to see how much he's grown, quite literally, with all that pounds of muscle. But we start first with the 7-Eleven era. Do you know were you even part of this?
I don't even think I was here for the 7-Eleven era.
All right, so 7-Eleven, when he first got drafted, he chose number 11 instead of 7, and they showed up at Summer League, and him and Jalen, they're just young pups, and they're out there showing what they would evolve into, all-NBA players down the road. This was his first game in Utah. It was up against the Sixers. Now, mind you, the Sixers traded up to number 1 to take Markelle Fultz. He's got to go up against them on night 1, and what does he do? Jayson Tatum hits a late game winner over them. My favorite part is after they win that game, they're celebrating, and him and Jalen do the Paul Pierce crap dice celebration on the court, and everyone in Boston was like, this is it. These two are going to lead us into the future. But remember, they had just signed Kyrie, and Gordon Hayward was going to actually sign the next day. And so there was still a lot of, they were just young pups at that point. They weren't sort of necessarily the guys that were going to carry this thing forward. And yet, man, there was some excitement after that. And then Jayson goes and changes his number.
I mean, I can't really imagine Jayson Tatum being number 11. I like Agent Zero. I just feel like it's so much cooler than the number 11.
Think about how life could have been different if he was number 11. Who knows what would have happened?
Who knows? It's just maybe a different path for Jayson Tatum. All right, what's coming up next?
All right, the second one, and this is the best part about going back and watching the highlights, is the teams are so much different. Well, I'm digging through, and the fourth game of the year, Celtics are going up against the Knicks, and just catch who he dunks this over.
We know that guy.
Yeah, that guy's pretty important to this year's team. But back in the day, Jayson was making sure he wasn't getting caught boxed out and throwing down big dunks. So on this game, remember, Gordon Hayward goes down the first night of the season. So now all of a sudden we're looking at the younger guys saying, can they step up and help Kyrie lead this team? Tatum goes out there, 22 points on 9 of 15 shooting. Jaylen Brown had 23. Ironically, that was Jalen's 21st birthday that same night, and they get him to a win. I think what was most encouraging about that was the first night you saw that Jayson could do a little bit more. 4 steals, 2 blocks, and that very loud putback. It was part of a 16-game win streak where you started to say, okay, these guys are young, but maybe they can help this team.
I love how the lower third right there says unicorn hunting. That's just, come on, we're friends with
Can't go
KP
unicorn hunting no more.
Now he's on the winning team. All right, what's coming up next?
All right, speaking of tough moments for current teammates, thumbing through and looking at all these highlights from his rookie season, and what jumps out but this splashy move where he crosses over. You know who that number 11 is?
Ooh, I missed this one.
Drew Holiday.
Oh my God.
So look, Tatum was in his bag for a lot of this season, but that one in particular, I was like, wait a minute, I know who that was. That was a year that Drew Holiday was not only first team all defense, I think he finished 7th in Defensive Player of the Year voting, pretty high for a guard at that point. And here's 19-year-old Tatum showing the full bag and getting to his spot and making a big shot over him. There were moments like that throughout the season where Tatum wasn't putting up crazy scoring numbers every night. In that game in particular, he did not have a great night. But you saw what could be, and you're like, man, this kid is really skilled, really talented. And once he started to put it together in terms of mixing in that outside shooting with driving to the basket and just evolving his game, it really started to take off. But man, like I was like, wait, are all these rookie highlights against his former or current teammates? Like
that's what it feels like.
Wild.
It feels like he was just like kind of setting it up where he was like showing them what he could do, and then he's like, yeah, come to the winning side, come and play for the Boston Celtics. All right, last but not least, what do you got?
Well, this one isn't a current teammate, maybe future. I don't know. I'm not going to try to will this, but it's the most memorable moment of his rookie season, and that was dunking on LeBron in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And I mean, that chest pump, Amina.
Oh, it's huge.
He
oh my gosh.
For a 19-year-old kid, I guess.
Oh my goodness,
technically
the
20 at that
moxie.
point. But letting him know, and I wish I could teleport you to that moment, Amina, because we sat there and said, oh my God, this team is going to the NBA Finals. No Kyrie, no Gordon Hayward, but these young guys, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Jayson Tatum, they're going to will them to the finals. Then LeBron said, wait, no. Everything still goes through me, and dominated those final 4 minutes. But that's when, if there was a moment where you said, man, Jayson Tatum has the potential to be a star in this league, in that moment, dunking on LeBron and having a little fire afterward showed that he was ready for that big stage. And it's only been a ascent now. I know he's still 19 now, but MVP conversation and all that he's doing, and he's evolved his game and sacrificing. So credit. You could see now rewinding it, you could see those hints of what he would become at age 19.
I was going to say, it's just so crazy seeing those highlights of Jayson Tatum when he was still 18, 19 years old, and then seeing how he's grown to today and how he's affecting the game in so many different ways. Forsberg, I mean, it's crazy to watch it.
I just go back to how young he looks. I mean, the beard's not connecting. He's got he didn't have the curls
going quite yet. Is the beard not connecting for me? I mean,
Jaylen Brown with the flat top. I mean, I just get super nostalgic. Also, watching all the bench guys, you see Yabusele in the background and Shemi Ojale. Man, that was a time capsule.